by her attitude towards life and her skill set, and there wasn't anything left, even at the sexual end, to compensate for that. So I'd pretty much withdrawn into a world of video games and early proto-video games with using a Macintosh, things like Crystal Quest, and the Art District, and all my friends there. And she had her friends, and the people she was tailing and trying to get favors from in the West Hollywood crowds, and we sort of split apart. Finally, she left, and then came back and sued me, trying to get money because we had lived together and I had been supporting her. So she did this in small claims court, which they immediately turned down. And the other person was a woman named Virginia. She was an older woman, older than I. At this time, I was probably in my mid-30s, maybe 37, 36, and Virginia was probably 45 or 44, but she was beautiful and accomplished, and she really fit in with the drug scene that was going on in my studio at the time. And all my motley friends, people that showed up, I mean, it was the most dynamic period for the studio that I'd built. It had a stage that I'd built just out of whim, made out of bowling alley slabs, hoisted off the cement floor. And it had a huge bank of 8-foot fluorescent, 4-bulb fluorescent fixtures, which were used by the factory when people had to look at their hands and were doing things, and the ceilings were 12 feet over their heads, so the light had to be intense up there. So I strung these things around the stage, and I've said this before, I'm sure, in other video blogs, but when you turned on a set of switches as you came through the door, all of which I hand wired myself with conduit running from the nearest factory fuse box. They weren't fuse boxes. They were an early version of toggle switch. Now that I'm an old man, sometimes the actual nomenclature for something that used to be really easy to talk about escapes me, but breaker switches. Anyway, when I flipped 3 switches, the stage was brilliantly lit, and the rest of the studio I could keep the lights off. I engineered it so that the rest of the studio was dark and the stage was an island of light, and people picked up on that. And a person who took a room in my studio, I built 2 bedrooms, and Mike Millett was an accomplished artist. I didn't know at the time, but he was an MFA in art, and he specialized in avant-garde performance art, and and impromptu gallery events that included visual things hung on the wall that had to do with collaging and